Okay, so here's something that I've wondered about recently, and that is how close are we to having an actual quantum internet, which would actually be useful in space travel. We're obviously building better and better robots, and we're good at transmitting data through the internet and telepresence. But the ping times throughout the entire planet is not all that bad, even if you go to the other side of the planet. Granted, information doesn't move quite at the speed of light through wires, and then of course that's obviously not going to go straight around the Earth. It's going to information is going to bounce up to a satellite and probably in geosynchronous orbit, which is quite a ways up and then down. But nonetheless, it's pretty much around or less than a second for that information to transmit from one place to another, even if it's on the other side of the planet. But if we're going to transmit information via means telepresence to anywhere else, anywhere that's not on Earth, it's going to take quite a while for that information to be received. Like, it can take, I guess, as long as 26 minutes. I'm not exactly sure about this, but I think that's probably right. Anywhere from maybe 11 to 26 minutes if it's on Mars. If it's on Venus, it'd probably be similar. Same thing sort of with Mercury. And then, of course, if you're going to go to Jupiter, we're talking about probably for a round trip of that information, about an hour and a half. And then Saturn would probably be 3 hours, and Pluto, I don't know, maybe 10 hours. Uranus and Neptune, somewhere in between that amount of time, or I don't know the exact figures, but it's in the hours if we're talking about the gas giants, and it's within up to a half hour or so within the terrestrial rocky planets. But if we have teleportation, then the transmission of information is instant, and that would be useful because if we can use telepresence robots to explore Mars. Or any of the moons around Jupiter or Saturn or even Neptune or Uranus or any of the Kuiper Belt objects or the asteroids or whatever's out there. You could have it's highly flexible. You can have one person explore the planet for just a few seconds, a few minutes, a few hours, and they can communicate. They can 1 minute this. A student or a scientist or just a paying customer who's curious on Earth can utilize a robot. It could be a rover or a bipedal robot or whatever. It could be a robot of any size. For example, the robot could be miniaturized. A robot could be just an inch tall. We could deploy a whole bunch of really small robots or larger robots, and you could be 1 minute on Europa, another minute on Titan, another minute on Enceladus, another minute on one side of the planet of Mars, another minute on another side of the planet of Mars, and then you can go to Venus, and then you can go to Mercury, go back to the Moon, and then actually explore something on Earth too. Maybe you could be in the deep sea, ocean. It doesn't even have to be out, off the planet. You could do whatever you want to do. You can manipulate these robots, and you could have a live telepresence stream. From what I understand, the Chinese, right? They recently launched. They demonstrated successfully quantum teleportation. I don't know exactly what kind of information they demonstrated that they could transmit, but it's over a distance of 700 kilometers, and that's not possible because of the curvature of the Earth. You run into that kind of situation. So, but if you have something in orbit, then all you need is something to penetrate the atmosphere. Once it penetrates the atmosphere, then the range becomes a lot greater. Although, obviously, if you're going to other planets or whatever, well, all you need to do is establish a stable quantum link, and once that quantum link is established, you got something going, and that's the whole point behind sending beams of information, of light, is to transmit the entanglement, not the actual information itself. And then once you establish a quantum link, a reasonably stable quantum link, something that's workable enough to transmit, uh, preferably high definition motion picture. But if not high definition motion picture, even a cruder, you know, video image, and then you can manipulate your rolling robot. You could have a bipedal robot with wheels, or kind of like a handle. Just give a little background information. Handle is a bipedal robot that has wheels instead of feet, so it has two legs and two arms, but it's much more agile than like our bipedal robots that have feet. So it's a little different that way, and that's something that came out recently with Boston Dynamics. My point is the explosion in our discovery with robots, coupled with the apparent advancements that we're making with quantum teleportation, may in fact offer some unique opportunities for augmented reality, augmented reality and telepresence. Telepresence for human exploration of our solar system, and even possibly outside of our solar system. Maybe we can send tiny probes that weigh just an ounce or even a gram. I don't know how far we can carry that, at 1/5 the speed of light, or maybe even like mostly the speed of light. Excuse me, for 80 or 90% the speed of light reach, say Alpha Centauri, and if we can establish even a quantum link there, again, information and communication will be instantaneous. There might be a lot of rogue planets, things like the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is a lot farther out there, but still far more reasonable and possible for us to reach those objects out there. There's a whole plethora of possibilities. There's countless Kuiper Belt objects, possibly Oort cloud objects, obviously the asteroid belt, and maybe things that we still don't know about, like possibly objects closer than Earth, around our sun. I don't know. I've heard about that. But whatever. There's a lot of possibilities with astronomy. Not everybody's excited about astronomy, but a lot of people are. And of course, I'm interested in connecting with people who are interested in these things. A lot of possibilities, and just some general thought. Anyhow, thanks for listening.